In this presentation, I'll be talking about the school of thought that is cynicism. The first we hear of cynicism is 445 years before Common Era, and the philosopher that introduces it is a philosopher named Antisthenes, who was a pupil and a companion of Socrates. Later on, people started to doubt him as the founder of cynicism, because his beliefs were more different and complex than the pure school of cynicism, and because his philosophical interests changed over his lifespan. But it is without a doubt that he preached a life of poverty. The word cynic derives from a Greek word that means dog alike. People of Greece characterized cynics as stray dogs because of their way of living, which focuses on happiness achieved by living a natural life. Diogenes of Sinope was the philosopher that took cynicism to its limits. His journey begins when he was banished from his home city of Sinope. This happened because of him counterfeiting coins. After that, he was stripped of all of his possessions and lived the life of a homeless man. This is when he realized that by rejecting of others' opinions and earthly possessions, he could be free. For a while, his only possessions were a cloak and a bowl. But after seeing a young boy drinking water with his hands from a river, he got angry and realized that he didn't need the bowl and was still somewhat attached to worldly possessions. So he angrily smashed the bowl on the ground. He didn't go on about his life quietly. He mocked rich people and teased everyone who, in his opinion, didn't understand his philosophy. With no shame and care, he would eat, urinate, and defecate in the public, and people started calling him and his followers dog philosophers, which was meant as an insult, but to his philosophy, dog was an accurate symbol because they do not have a sense of authority and are generally happy animals. As his reputation grew, more people started to get intrigued by his philosophy. Alexander the Great once visited him and offered him anything in his power. But Diogenes' only request was for Alexander to get out of his sunlight. Diogenes believed that being rich came from within a person and not from his wealth. He said that a person could be wealthy and still want more. That doesn't mean that this person is rich. But a person who doesn't desire more than they have, that is what it means to be rich. Stoics believed in the school of cynicism. A lot of their beliefs allied with the beliefs of cynicism, but for their taste, it was too extreme. So they have decided to tone it down, but keep and respect the root ideas of cynicism. But as centuries went on, cynics got separated from their ideas, and the word cynic got a new, unlikable definition. They slowly started being materialistic and only preached cynicism for their own personal gain. And over time, the word cynic became an insult. The new definition became a person who only criticizes but doesn't have a replacing better solution. The modern meaning of a cynic is pessimistic belief that every person thinks of themselves and only acts in their self-interest, a distrust of claimed ethical and social values, and having no need to be socially involved. There were still people in history who kept the real idea of cynicism. Jean-Jacques Rousseau's adoption of the cynical attitude of being willing to take the personal risk of going against convention. He was named the new Diogenes because he believed that new technologies and science corrupt people. 20th century hippies were also compared to Diogenes as their way of living was much different than that of most people. Over the millennials, there have been many definitions of a cynic. Some are much different than others from the original cynicism and its values that are rejecting customs and living closely to nature because that is the only way to live a virtuous and happy life. This was my presentation about theory of cynicism. Sources used will be listed in the description of the video. Thank you.